Okay, what's going on, Grand Rising? Today is April the 11th, Thursday, 2024. And what we're going to be looking at today is going to be dollar index, Euro USD, and the futures market. So really quick, I am going to drop yesterday's trade. We did kind of get caught up in some chop yesterday. We ended up having I think it was three. Let me make sure it was three trades in total yesterday. One out of the two, which ended up leaving me with a $416 loss in the day, which is predetermined, which is fine. They never really pushed down to that 18,100 level like I was wanting during our session yesterday. So when I dropped the video for the reporting from yesterday's session, just kind of have the understanding when you're watching the beginning of this one that we took a trade at the end of the session because we had FOMC at 1 p.m. yesterday. So we took a trade at the end of the session closer into like the 1245s. That price actually did rally up into here. And then when we were just about to get liquidated around that 3 p.m. time, price was in a good spot, which ended up pushing us still to, like I said, about a $400 loss, but it was a $1,700 profit, but it basically was covering everything from the day. So we're in a new day. We're in a new mindset. We see what price has done. We've already taken Asian liquidity. We're about 4 minutes out from New York Open. Prices expanded really fast. What happens a lot of times I usually see in this is people get the fear of missing out. So as they rally up the price like this, people start buying the breakout and then they run back their stops. So today I'm going to be patient. I'd like to see something like potentially like this, price come back down into those levels and, find something like that would work out and play a little bit better. I also might look for a short down to take out the low from London and then previous day low as well. So it just depends on how the price shapes up. I'd like to, get that short above 18,300, above market open, 18,350s, but we'll see how they play out here. And then very similar, really quick here, looking at ES, it's very similar. We pushed up overnight. That 730 price really shot us up for PPI. So news is the excuse to push price to hurt traders or to, just the excuse to push price to an area. So now that we've already made that new high, we've taken out the Asian highs and we've, secured some of that liquidity from yesterday's positions. I can anticipate the same move on ES here today. So my focus is going to be between these two. And then my goal is going to be whichever one presents the best opportunity is the one I would like to take. So preferably it's always going to be NQ because that's the one I'm most familiar with. But, if it just looks better on ES, I would take it on ES as well. So trade safe. Make sure you read the trader's constitution and, let's see what we get for today. One last thing I want to show before we do get kind of started and rolling here is that the correlation of the assets, right? We're all bullish, NQ here on the far left, ES in the middle, and YM as well, taking that Asian high liquidity. So when you look at a line graph here really quick, you could see that pullback possibly into those areas that could work out. So let's see what we get. And I will be focused mostly here on NQ. So trade safe, and we will be watching some smaller time frames from the open when it's needed. So I do have Top Step here on the other side as well. I want to see if they're going to be, how they're going to be factoring in some of their positions and stuff as well today. I don't know what to make of it. I heard you in an opening call. We got patient waiting this sucker out. Okay, so there's the open. Watching these opens in New York. So what I am going to do for the open is we'll watch the small time price action here. Okay, so just want to see how this first minute's going to close. So that first minute did close, and I kind of like how it's bouncing up here. So I'm going to frame up something off this high right here. What's the high? Oh, maybe too late. The high on this candle is 18,274, so it kind of already pushed away. 18,270, 274. Take profits are in like the 18,150s, 18,1s. Let's do that. Now price already kind of pushed away, so I'm not gonna like chase this right here. So that is really pushing pretty good. So when you got that first 830, the initial, and then you got 831 did this, anything that pulls back up potentially could be an order. But right now, it's kind of just running away. Doing very similar things on the other two. So don't want to get just caught up trying to, take the trade. So can't hesitate right there on that move. But what I was looking to do was to position my risk uh, on top of this candle here. But maybe we'll get a little bit better. So now the only way I'll play this now is if we come up into the 5 minute last up candle. So like 18,261s. And then I still would have that same stop loss high, which was 18,274. So if I want price to come into the open of this candle, 18,261, that's what I'm looking for right here. Okay. So watching the other two, YM is kind of bearish, ES is bearish at the New York. And so, like I said, if we do push back up into that New York open and that 5 minute open candle, there may be a chance. They may not even let you get past 18,250s, but I'll be patient today and wait for that push up. So I'm looking at New York open, but I'm also looking at the open of this candle right here, 18,260. Let me make sure the open is exactly what I think it is. 261. So being patient here. ES is very bearish. So on that 5, so it looks really nice on there. And so this 5 minute not pressing down, that's kind of what I'm looking at, is wanting to see how this is going to actually, finish this 5 minute candle. So like right in there would be the area. So if they hold this area, great. And I don't know if they kind of let me fill that 260 area. They gave me what they ended up giving me? 254. So it's a 20-point risk to the 74. So if they take this one out, it's fine. I'd take one more trade, and then if I lose a trade, then I'd be done. But I do like this area. I thought it was going to give me a little bit better of a price. So that's good for me. Now, if we can fill this inefficiency fairly quickly, and get back to daily open by any means and go below this candle here before going higher, then I definitely would be done with the trade. But they may want to go a little bit higher here. Now we'll see once they touch this New York open, and this 5 minute close will be able to kind of tell us a little bit more too. So, like I said, waiting for that New York Open is a better R&R no matter what to the high. So if this ends up not stacking, like closing a close higher high here, it doesn't stack and go higher, then we'll look for a better price. It looks like we're going to push out these highs and it'll stop out this move. So we'll wait for a little bit higher, like I said, above 18.3s and market open, possibly if it does. But this is very close. Now I have a 20-point risk on this trade. So the better entry would be right here at New York Open with the risk up here. So I just have to accept it from this point on. But it looks pretty good. I mean, that was super tight. If this can hold, guys, and go to daily open today, or anywhere close to 18,150s, I'll be out of here because that was super. I mean, that was literally 1 point away from my stop loss. So if that can make it, then great. And looking at the other two, they look pretty bearish from the New York Opens. So we'll see if we can get, some of this inefficiency fill from the news would be very interesting. That looks pretty good. Taking a look at ES as well. Just kind of looking at smaller time frame price action. 15 and 5 look really good and pushing away from New York Open. So if they can break this candle here and this 5 minute can, get weak, and I would say this 15-minute candle can close below 18,240s, we have a chance to get to 18.2 at least. And if we break that 1 minute, 5 minute structure, right? Because I'm a better buyer than I am seller. If we break out of that 18,230s, I'll probably secure this trade. So we'll see what we get. And then I want this limit to be at the bottom of the news here. So if they don't hold that price right there like they're doing, then we have a good chance that this could still, fall below this candle right here. So I want to see it fall below the 18,200 level. Then I could secure the trade. Now I think shorts are short-lived, so that's why I said I want to get an inefficiency fill if it can fall below these levels, right? Look at the line graph here. If it can fall below this 18,220s 200 level, then I would be willing to exit most of that trade for the day. Now our price for target is about 200 points away. So 275 down to 18.1 would be, so that's, yeah, it's about almost, that would be almost, yeah, 150, 200 points. But that price isn't building the right way, right, on the 1 minute, unless it breaks lower here very quickly to 18.2. And looking at the other two assets, it kind of seems like they're just, we broke out on NQ, we broke out on ES, and it's just like I have no idea what they want to do until they start presenting. But we're in the move, we're in profit right now. And so, like I said, if we can push down to daily open today, I'm looking to secure like somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500, and be done with the session today, especially after just coming off of that $400 loss yesterday. I just want to get that sweet spot win today, get that third win of the week, and I really don't even have to trade tomorrow if that can work out. So I like how price is falling right now. And take a look here at dollar index. Now we got to break this 15 and 5, right, area. especially this 5 minute area. So if you flip it upside down, like I said, I'm a better buyer. If we can push the daily open, I'll probably exit this trade, family, or secure it. So it looks really good right now. We're at about $600-700 in profits, and I would anticipate the inefficiency fill. So from this white candle to its close, I would anticipate price to get to like the 18,170s, 18,180s. And the reason I'm looking at that is just how I'm gauging the whole trade. You got the swing low to the swing high. So I'm looking to get to at least 50% of that swing potentially if it can break down and break past the people here. Right. So we can break lower than that. Right. We'd be basically really attacking the swing. And then I would, want to be out for a profit for today. Potentially. It's kind of looking tough. It's looking like they want to hold the 5 minute area here. So we just got to be patient. So for this one, I'm actually going to view it upside down just to kind of be subjective. Order filled. Okay, that's just late. It's just lagging. But that looks a little scary. So it's kind of pushing our order. We are inside of a double top type situation, so they could come slip it and then hold this last up candle as well. So hopefully they don't do that. But we'll see what we get. And then YM's pretty bearish from that 38,800. And from the New York Open 52.18, ES was pretty bearish. So this isn't looking as good just because of how they're holding this 5 minute structure here. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way. And then what we're focused on is this down candle. And from, pretty much if it continues to hold inside the 5 minute like this, like if it continues to hold this area on the 5, then that's not good. And then going into like 10:20 a.m. So if it can break down, before, like if this was a buy position, right, I'd be looking at it like a breakout test. If it can break out and then start to go fill that 18,150, then that's great. But too many more prints closer to the New York Open, and I would say it'll take the highs out. So kind of have to just be patient and see what we get. So that does not look like good price right there. So just gonna have to be patient. Subjectively, when I look upside down, it looks pretty good. That's what I'd like to see. So if it can just push away from New York Open violently, that would be great. But as it pushes, and holds 18,250, that's not as good. So we got about 2 minutes before 8:45. So we should have an idea of what's going to happen with this 5 minute close. Looking at YM, pretty bearish still, and ES is at 52.07, so it's about 10 points down from New York Open. So it's just being difficult here. All of them are showing bearishness on the 1 hour, but this one's the one that's fighting the area pretty tough. Good push away from 18,250 with this 5 minute close. So if this 5 minute, right, can close and start showing signs on this line graph that it wants to close lower low than 18,220s, then I think we have a good chance to maybe fill some of the inefficiency here. And then our goal 100 points away would be, from 18,250 to 18,150. So if we fall fast anywhere close to daily open, I'm going to start securing the bag. We're 15 minutes into the session, so okay, so that 5 minute did not close weak, right? It's still playing really strong, and the 1 hours all look, the 1 hour looks strongest on NQ, and it kind of looks like they're testing the areas on the other two. So, um, they're testing the daily open on ES. So maybe they can come down and do the same thing here with NQ. We can just break the 5 minute structure. I'm gonna secure the trade and tie the risk off. If not, then I'll just accept the risk here. So that doesn't look as good. Any breaks really too much above 18,250 or more signs of strength to 18,3. So that looks really bullish. They're all looking kind of like they're just testing off their like the bounce play type of situation. So I'm not too for sure about this one, to be honest. That break of structure is showing more signs of strength, like they want to stop us out. So um, just gonna have to be patient, see what they do. The goal is to get down, like I said, below daily open. So below 18,180s, breaking at 18,200 would be really nice. And then a really, really good day would be 18,150. Pushing 100 plus points fairly quickly would be nice. We'll see how this 5 minute closes. I think if we can get a good 5 minute, one more 5 minute bearish close, then we'll start attacking 18,200. But we really can't. We really don't. It's not we can't. We don't really want to see too many more closes above 18,250 if this is going to get to 18,150 or daily open first. Mm-hmm. YM super bearish from the 38,800 level, and then 52,18 was the New York Open, and we're at 52,05 on ES. So they're still showing signs of weakness, but we're just kind of mumble jumbled in this area. So like I said, if we can get another 5 minute close below 18,250, I think we could push our way down below 18,200, and then we could be looking to possibly exit the trade for the day trade. So YM super bearish from the New York Open. I mean, crushing to the downside right now. Okay, so 15.5, 1 minute price looks 15 and 5 price look pretty good. It's rejecting that 15 minute last up candle. So this next 5 minute close is really going to be key. I think if we can break, like I said, this little trap candle 18.2, we could find a little bit more downside on the swing. But I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be short lived. So I don't like this is our low, this is our high. Price does start to push, 50% of the swing below 18.2. Then our take profits will probably be at daily open or lower, like a little bit lower. If they do continue to hold this 5 minute price and just rally up, then I'll wait for a better price. But right now, I think, like I said, if we can get a good 15 and 5 minute closures, we might have a chance on this one. But it's kind of being difficult here at 18,250s. And ES still about 10 points down from the New York Open. And YM's down from New York Open almost over 100 some points. So just gonna be patient and see. All right, so we got 8:50 now. 5 minutes are strong. 1 minute price action isn't breaking. They're attacking back to our entry. So, um, they may slip the price and go up to 18.3, or they may hold this area. Me potentially, I would love to see them hold this area down into the 18.150s at least. And if they buy it up later today, great. But if they could just break out of this area here and fall, that would be nice. ES 5205. Um, and it just seems like they broke out and they're testing those areas. So, but they're at Daily Open and London Open on those two. So if we could do the same thing here, that would be great. My risk placement could have been better if I would have got the New York Open tap, and I could have put my risk at the 18,286. So if it stops me out here, like I said, I'll just be looking for a better positioning here, a little bit higher probably. That's if, right? So gotta break this 18,250 level first. We're kind of like right at the level. So ES is back to 5206, so it's still about 10 points away from New York Open. But the print on NQ is starting to print bullish on the 1 hour. So we really don't want to see, like I said, too many candles printing above 18,250, or the likelihood to get to 18.3 is more probable. ES is only 10 points away. It's up to 5208. So this 15 to 1 hours on NQ aren't looking so good for these orders that we have. I just don't like where my risk placement is, unfortunately, but it is what it is. ES is showing some strength back up to its New York Open. So we have our risk placement set. So I mean, I didn't like it, but it's still holding right now. So I think if we can close back below 18,250 here fairly quickly, that could be a really good 5 minute mitigation setup on NQ. Right. And the reason being is because we pushed out, we came back, we pulled back, we touched New York Open, and if we go again down, that would be great. Right. So really just, we got the woman engulfing at the New York Open. So now if it can fall fairly quickly, like I said, to fill inefficiencies, this would be a good trade. And so, like I said, ES had sold off more. So potentially, if this can at least go to daily open today, that would be great. Right now, what we're looking for on price action wise here in this 5 minute close is we're wanting this 1 minute to go down below 18,250, because if they close 5 minute and 1 minute price above that level, they could punch it on through. And their 5 minute close above that level. So um, prices is really strong. We're back to 52.10 on ES, so it just looks like they may want to push the 15 and 1 hour highs. They're just being difficult here. Too much liquidity here at this 18,274. What time is it? 55? Yeah. If we can slip back below 18,220 from this point right here, I think there's a good chance, but we're pushing more bullish than anything right now, it seems like. 5208, still 10 points away from New York Open on the yes. But it is tested away from that London and Daily Open after breaking out of that range. So YM super bearish, falling. ES isn't showing any strength. It actually fell a little bit more. So we might actually have a mitigation on our hands here. We'll see. This next 5 minute close, like I said, if we can close this candle below 18,250, the likelihood of us getting to 18.2 would be pretty strong. And then slipping the daily open, I'd say 18,175 and a quarter. And we could possibly get to those levels, but they're still, holding above 18,250 right now. So we'll see how this 5 minute closes, as well as the 15. So basically, if price closes below 18,250, 15.5, I would think that we might be able to like attack this swing a little bit lower. I just don't like my stop loss placement today as much. But ES is 5206, so we're all just kind of still in the same areas. The only one that's really showing a lot of weakness on that 1 hour is going to be Dow from 38,820 New York Open to like 38,670. So it's down over 100 and some points. So they're really holding that 18,250 level really strong now. So and just how the 1 hours look, they look like a breakout test type play to go higher. So it's just not looking as good for the probabilities, but our stop loss placement isn't the greatest. So like, what? So wanting to see this 9 a.m., see what they do here. So still above 18,250 though, right? And ES is at 5207, so still 10 points away from its New York Open. But unless we can break down right here and start closing below 18,250, then this is going to go higher. I like how the 1 hour and 15s look. YM super bearish. So I do like how price is looking. I mean, we came in like so close to our stop loss. That was crazy. That's why I like futures, guys, because when I position that risk, it's it's going right to the T, right to a point. So remember, like I said, I'm a better buyer than I am seller. So when I see this, I'm on the right side of the V right now. Now, if I can just get that extension to daily open, that'd probably be a good move for the day. I could close out and be done for the day. So there's that push. Let's see if we can keep getting it. And now between now and 9:15 a.m., if we can get that push and the break of structure on like line graph 5 minute below 18,220s, I'll probably secure the trade or pull the trade. So it's still in the area, but when you look at this upside down as well, subjectively, that does look more than likely to get to that 18,150, possibly, or at least daily open, slipping that liquidity. So we're getting that move we want to see. ES is very bearish as well. So we're not out of the woods yet. We're getting close. What a trade so far. What a trade so far. So now, like I said, I just want to see if we can push out of this area that we were looking at. It looks really good right now. We're floating in profit pretty well. 1 hour 15 positions are good. The overall market looks good. Let me take a look at dollar index, kind of see if we're getting some bullishness. We are. So this is looking good. So now if we can push to that level, family, I think we have a good chance to come out of here with a profit today. We started the stream at 8:25, so we're a little less than an hour into the session still. YM is super bearish. 38,820 was New York Open. It's at 620, so it's down 200 points since the New York Open. ES is 52.18 was the open. We're at 52. We're breaking below. We're at 51.98, so we're 20 points down there. 18,265 New York Open for NQ, and we're at 18,232. So we're about 30 points up. So if we can just fall out, like I said, below this 18.2, then there's a good chance to secure this with a profit. So like we break 5 minute structure, essentially how I look at it, right? Like this. If we are to break pretty much lower like we're about to do, like that, that's when I'll secure this trade, because if I had the New York Open, it would be even better. But if we can just get below these lows and hit 8 and break 18.2 pretty violently, then I'm looking to take profit around daily open today and take my step forward and be done. My goal is 3 days a week out of 5 to win X amount of dollars on these setups. So it's like if we can just get to these levels, that's what I'm looking for per day. I'm going to look at this a little subjectively for a little bit, just because I want to see if we can get the actual candle closure here in about 1 minute and 22 seconds. So remember, we're looking at the actual candles closing. So if we can get that candle to close, I was going to say higher high, but lower low, right? Then we probably can start thinking daily open. But we really want to see that candle close, because they're just going sideways in this area, making it difficult. YM still super bearish. ES sitting at 52. So it's still 20 points down, but I don't like how those 1 hours look, how they could be testing the inefficiency. So we're still not out of there yet at all. So a good 5 minute close lower low would be good here for me. I would like to see that, or at least a bearish candle, and then the next candle open and continue bearish. And then this first 15-minute close of 9, like I said, if it can close relatively bearish, then that would be also a good sign for this trade. YM is literally about to go take the lows. So I'm about to move 300 points just from New York Open. So ES isn't showing any sign of strength. NQ is just we're just kind of at this level, 18,250. So That was a bearish close, but it wasn't low. It's still holding that 1 minute structure and that 5 minute structure range. So it's got to break out of the screen box for me to be more confident about this one. ES is falling really quickly still below 52. So it looks like we're the lagger today with NQ because YM's going to take the lows. ES is about halfway there, and then it looks like we're lagging here on NQ. So hopefully ES can continue to fall down to that 1 hour down candle of 5190, and we can at least break 18.2 on NQ and start attacking the 18.150s or 18.180 daily opens. So YM's at the very bottom, testing that 1 hour last down candle, and we're pushing closer into ES's right now. So 5190 area, right? We're at 5196. So we would want to see 18.2 touched here on NQ for sure. Get that break of structure here in the next 2 minutes, and then I'll probably pull my position closer to daily open today. So we're at 18.230s, daily opens at 18.185. There's a big push, big amount of volume coming in, attacking the swing. So we want to see it break below this level here, this candle, 18.216s, this 1 minute candle here, this 18.200, and then like I said, I think we'd be in a pretty good profit for the day, where we could always just get out and look to see if there's another A plus setup today. If there's not, then we could just close out with what we have for today. So it looks good. ES is falling pretty quickly into the 1 hour area. I want to show that really quick because that doesn't mean they're going to sell off, but they are pushing back into the 1 hour last down candles. This one's actually engulfing here, YM. It's actually pushing lower, and now it's pushing right into the open here. So we can even get, halfway of what they're doing over there. Then we're going to get a pretty good trade here with NQ. Okay. So 18.2 and below, and I would say that this would be a good trade with NQ, but they've got to break this 5 minute liquidity, or they're just going to hold this area, which is annoying, which they could definitely do because of where ES is right now. ES is bouncing off that 5193, the open of that down candle, but you do have YM making lower lows and flushing out the liquidity. So we can just get that, like I said, even when you look at this from a Fibonacci retracement, from the low of the day to the current high of the day, if we can just even get down to that 50% of the swing, that's where I plan to exit today, if we can get there, because now it's kind of not looking as good. Keep seeing weakness on ES, and that would be great. So 51.94 1/4. If you see it start falling closer to 51.80, that would make me more confident for this trade. But right now they're kind of being difficult here. 15 has 5 minutes before it closes. So if this 5 minute can close lower low than where the price is right now, so like lower than here, and actually close lower low, then I think we could, by 9:15 get down to daily open. YM is taking the lows right now, so So I don't like that 5 minute price right there. It's annoying. Especially like I said, with where ES is, ES being below daily in London, I would want to see NQ fall to those London daily areas as well. So currently I'm floating like a 1-to-1. So my goal is to pull off like a 1-to-3. So we're pushing down into those areas. So get ready, guys. Like I said, the risk was $400 on the trade. 4 times 3 is 12. So if we can push into this 1200 range here at daily open, I'm going to pull this trade, and that would be it for me today. If it keeps going, it keeps going. But I want to see how they're going to actually, if they're going to push it here. Now ES is falling. It's in the 5190s now, right? So I think it can go a little bit lower, like 5185. But it's definitely below London and daily open already, and YM's already taken the lows. So I feel like as long as we can get below daily open here, we have a really good trade on our hands. So I like it. Price is pushing in our favor fairly quickly here. And it's just all about, are we going to break this little trap candle? Once we get below this trap candle and we're in that daily open range, if we can get there, that's where I plan to exit. So hopefully they don't just slip this liquidity here and then go higher and hold this little candle. I'd want them to just go right under it. And then that's where I plan to exit my trade for about a 1-to-3 risk reward on the day. ES is falling. It's at 5189, so it's falling pretty fast. Now you could trail this trade too to go break even, because I haven't had any losses today or anything either. But today I'm just taking a step at a time. So we're floating about $930 in profit, so we're about a 1-to-2. So like I said, if we can just get into that daily open area right under this 1 minute wick, I'm going to be out of there today. ES 5189.25, so it's still falling on ES. YM still pushing lows. So if we can just get to 50% equilibrium here on this trade, I think we have a really good trade on our hands. They're kind of playing that trap candle, right? See what I mean? It's kind of annoying, which they could rally back up. So I want to see if they can close it, because I don't want to go break even and they come stop me out. So I want to see this candle open and close bearish, and then that next candle extend up to that daily open, and it would be good. ES 5189.25, so it's still pushing lower pretty fast right now. So just want to see 18.2 broken, and I think we have a good chance to get out of here with that profit for today. Don't like that 1 minute price right there. ES is kind of testing that 5190 area as well, and we're not closing the candle, like I said, how I want to close it. So I might secure this trade here in a second. It just depends on how the price action looks, because I want that 5 minute to close lower low, and then I can slip right into my TP. But with where the other two are at the same time, we would want to see not ES potentially, like I said, respecting 5190s. We'd want to see it get a little lower into that 15 or that 1 hour swing in that 15 minute, like 5183 area. So my eyes and where my focus is where this candle opened, right? I'm really focused on that candle's open. in the next candle. So it did close lower low, right? So that's a good sign. So you can secure the trade if you like. I'm pretty close to TP, so I'm going to go ahead and secure the trade because there's no reason to lose on the trade once you've got that 5-minute structure break lower low. And we're about $1,000 in profit, so we're floating almost a 1 to 3. So now it's up to, we're in profit. Now we can manage the trade, right? We have nothing to worry about. Either we're going to take profit at that 1200 level daily open, or we're just going to keep securing this profit down. ES is looking very weak. It's at 51.87. NQ is falling fairly quickly. We're over a 1 to 3 now. What's 4 times? Okay. 4 times 5 would be, so a 1 to 5 would be a $2,000 gain. 4 times 4 is 16. So 1 to 4, we're at $1,400 in profit. So we're about a 1 to 4. We're at that level. We may continue lower. I'm watching 1 minute open and 1 minute close at this area. If I see any responses, the volume kind of coming in that area, I'd be out of there. Right now, I'm not getting that response up. That's kind of it. Let's continue to watch here. So watching that 5-minute push, right? It's pushing. That 1 minute's pushing. We're pushing. Right, ES is pushing down into that 15-minute area below its 1 hour 50%. This is looking good. We're up 1600, right? Stay calm. You can start trailing your wrist down into here if you like. But for me today, let me see how that's gonna look. That 1 minute's not showing me anything yet, right? We're still at daily open. So how that candle opens and closes will be key. And so that's it for me today, guys, for Into the Futures. I'm going to close out, I believe, 1505 here. Let's see if this price, how it's going to close there for that daily, at that daily open area. So I'm still waiting on that. It's not really showing me anything yet, okay? Oh, there it is. Just waiting for that candle to actually, like, do something that shows me, like, okay, you need to get out of there. All right, so this candle right here. Oops. All right, so that right there. So if it goes, if that candle closes anywhere above there, I'm out of there. So I want to close this at daily open. That's it, guys. That's it. That's it for me. So that's a good day, green day. 3 days out of this week, we just closed $1,500. So that with the session, that'll be the end of the session for the recording side. I do want to bring over YM and ES just really quick so you guys can kind of get an idea of what I was looking at, what I was evaluating. We're in that area, right? We're in a pullback area where now you have ES in the 50% of the last down candle. You have YM taking lows, right? So I don't want to be susceptible to price bouncing off this daily and coming back and taking me out of that trade. Expected value for the day was amazing. ES is starting to fall off a cliff now as well. So I'm grateful for what I was able to produce here today. And like I said, price could look, it could literally turn around right at that area. So you want to be taking your profit at expected value at point of interest. All right. So coming off of yesterday, this is how you bounce back. All right. $400 loss yesterday. Come back today, $1,500 win. All right. So great exit, great trade management. Things I could have done better on. I could have entered a little bit better at that New York Open and had my risk at the structural high. I still like my entry though because I didn't hesitate. And the other thing was that was probably the main thing, right, for the 15 5-minute entry. So other than that, the management I thought was pretty good. Price might continue to fall back below the 730 news price players. But for me and for the recording today, that will be it. I appreciate you guys watching Into the Futures. Like I said, I will be posting the loss from yesterday and I will be posting today's trade. So you guys have a good rest of your day. Talk to you later.